Geek and Gore. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Hello, how are we doing? How's our weekend? How is everybody doing? Happy birthday to Tanya. I was in Tanya's birthday live stream earlier. I was not chatting a lot because I was multitasking, as I always tend to do, and getting ready to come here to my office to do this live stream where we are going to talk about some jewelry. So I make jewelry, and I know I did a live. It's been a couple months at least since I did the last one, but I kind of got a wild hair and was in the mood to do some jewelry again. So I was like, you know what? Hello, Alex. How's it going? Welcome. Oh, pretty girl. Hello. How's it going? So I was in the mood to come on and show off. I haven't counted them. But home from the beach, I'm so glad that you got to get away. I'm sorry it was so short. But I'm glad you got to have a little vacation. Let me tell you, I am counting the days. I am counting the days until I'm going to be on vacation at Grandpa's Pool House and at the Grand Milac Casino. And so, yeah, we're going to have a good time. That is coming up. I work all next week, and then I'm off for a week. So very excited, very excited for all of that. Kind of sad to leave my other producer coworker. We're the only two on our little part of the team. We're on a bigger team now, but we're the only ones who do the video stuff. And our contract is up with our video hosting platform on the 31st. And then I am taking the first week of August off. So if there are problems, he will have to deal with them all by himself. I feel a little bit guilty, but not guilty enough to change any travel plans. So I will, you know what, that's the way it goes. Sometimes things get wild. Yeah. Didn't know you were going to be, yes, as I've been making them, I've been bringing them to the office. So I had the ones that I made this weekend at home, but I didn't have all of them at home. So I had to come here to the office so that I could show off all the new goodies. Like I said, I haven't counted them. I'm trying to separate them a little bit on my little rack thing. I think I have about 18 pieces that I've made since the last time I showed off jewelry. That is why I could not take a longer break, because it's me and the new girl. Yeah, that's, with work, it's one of those things where it's always crazy. And so eventually I get to the point where it's like, well, it's going to be crazy forever. So we better and I was in the house today, and had ideas to like go out and about. Hey, Janet. I had all these ideas to go out and about into the world and do things. And then I listened to the weather and I was like, nope. And I sat inside and I watched movies and made jewelry. And then just after Tanya's live, then I showered and I came down here to the office to do some things. So yeah, so let's talk about some jewelry. So if you don't know, yeah, sink or swim, they got to learn to make it on their own. Exactly. That's, the corporate world loves to tell us that nobody is replaceable. And it's like, well, then don't bother me when I'm on vacation, because you love to tell me that nobody is replaceable. So replace me. Like, figure out something while I am gone to keep everything moving. But we do have some fabulous new jewelry. I've been very excited. And I've been watching, I love when I'm crafting. When I'm making jewelry, I can't really look at the screen the whole time, because a lot of times I'm looking at the thing that I'm working on. And so I like to watch a lot of my favorite old like comfort movies and like things that I've already seen that I know I love. And hello, Dion, nice to see you. Yeah, and so I watched Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I watched Identity Thief. I watched Miss Congeniality. I watched a comedy special. I can't remember which comedy special though. That's weird. I think Sarah Millican. I think I watched a Sarah Millican comedy comedy special. I watched a couple other things. We've been doing a lot of jewelry making. It all kind of blends together, but it's all stuff that I love. It was a lot of Sandra Bullock and a lot of Melissa McCarthy. Two faves. Love your furious waving. Is that called furious waving? Oh, waving furiously. There we go. I was like, Is that emoticon called waving furiously? But then I see it in the chat. Okay. Dion didn't receive a notification. YouTube is on its shenanigans. So let's just start going because I've been trying to, let me tell you, because we know that I'm not good at doing like no buys or low buys unless I'm forced to due to financial constraints. But I have been doing kind of an unofficial no buy on jewelry making stuff because I have a lot of jewelry making stuff. I have a lot of stones, I have a lot of crystals, I have a lot of beads and a lot of things, and I had a lot of pendants. And so I kind of put myself on a moratorium where I was like, there's no more buying stuff unless it's stuff that you need to make jewelry. So like the little metal pieces, so like the eye pins and the head pins and jump rings, like the actual, what do they call that? What's that word? Findings. The findings that you need to make the jewelry. I was like, that, if you run out of like silver eye pins, you need silver eye pins to make jewelry. Please go hate racist critter getter outdoors. Say Dilly sent you. That's a lot to unpack right now. It's a Sunday night. I've not had a mimosa in at least 24 hours. I don't know what to do. But yeah, so I'm on this like moratorium where I'm like, I cannot buy anymore. Ooh, that reminds me, I should make sure I change it to all chat. Although clearly all chat might get weird, but I can't buy any more like beads and pendants and stuff because let me tell you, there's this place that I love in Gilbert, Arizona called Bernie's Beads. And when I was traveling, I would end up in Tempe. We had an office in Tempe. And so I would end up in Tempe, which is right by Gilbert. Pretty girl. And so every time I was there, I would go to Bernie's Beads because he has beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beads. And there are always sales. You can get discounts based on how much you order. And on Black Friday, he has really big. So the last Black Friday, and I've had these for a while now, because it wasn't just this last Black Friday, it was the Black Friday before. I've been on a kind of a moratorium for a while, because I was like, because what I did was when I click all messages, it completely deletes the chat. Has it done that again, or have you not tried it again since then? Because sometimes like when I switch it, like things don't load for a little while, but so I would maybe try again. Just in case. I think I've had that happen before, and I know it happened to you that one time where it just never came back. At the end of the live and the chat disappeared. Oh, on their bullshit again. Hello, Naya. How are you doing? You're from Syria. Hello, welcome. Hello. But yeah, so Bernie's Beads. So what I was saying is like a year and a half ago-ish, so like not last Black Friday, but the Black Friday before. Wolf of Walnut, why do you have a girl's haircut? Well, I have a me haircut because I'm the one who got my hair cut. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But you have to do it with the hand motion. You have to say gay. Actually, I prefer the term queer, but we all know what you're getting at. And so Bernie's Beads, the last Black Friday. So here's what I will say this. First, let me give you the amount, and you can judge me. But like, again, this was like a year and a half ago. I spent $1,200 at Bernie's Beads. I went in with a budget of spending $500 to $600, and I doubled it somehow. But everything that I got was at 60 or 70% off. So that tells you that at retail, I bought a lot more than that. So I got a lot of beads, and so I've had a lot of beads. And so I was like, if I find something really, really special, I can make an exception. But I was like, in general, just going to Michael's and buying more amethyst or more rose quartz or whatever, I was like, we have to stop. We have to use up. So I've been like, we need to have some jewelry making binges and get rid of some of this stuff. And I had one a couple months ago and made a bunch of jewelry and stuff. And now I've made a bunch more. And can I tell you, like, I've made a little bit of a dent. It's not like, I'm not going to say that I haven't made a dent, but I haven't made a big enough dent. I've made like little hailstone dent, and I need to make like a T-bone intersection car accident dent in this collection. So, but if anything, I may have to loosen. I am starting to, I'm starting to get low on some of the pendants and things. So pendants, but I've got more beads than I will ever need. So I may open up the shopping capabilities on pendants here soon. But let's go ahead and get started. I know, overachiever spending twice. They're just so good. They're so good, and he's so good. Like, he gets on like a phone call with me, and he'll like send me photos. So I'll be like, "Do you have any of this?" And he'll send me like photos of what he's got and tell me the different sizes, and he'll tell me what the price is going to be, because he knows I'm going to buy a lot. So he just like tells me roughly what the discount will be, and then like roughly what the price is, and then we figure it all out. And it just was like, so next time, if I do place an order from him, the next time I'll have to be a little better about sticking close to the. But it was one of those things where, again, I had a little bit of dead dad money, and I was like, I want some beads, and I know he has beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beads. So here is our first piece. This is a little owl pendant. I love owls, and he's got little abalone shell pieces. And then he's got little, are those black rhinestone eyes? Little black rhinestone eyes, and then he's got little gunmetal rhinestone accents on the rest of the piece. So you can see there's a little bit of sparkle. We've got the shell pieces, very fun. So for this one, I did the same style all the way up the chain. And what I did, these are green African opals. So this is a type of opal. It's not the traditional opal where it's got the like flash and the iridescence. It's just this beautiful like matte green, and it comes in like a range of green to yellowy green. It's just a really, really beautiful stone. And then I paired that, because of the sort of gunmetal color rhinestones, I decided to go with black moonstone. So we've got black moonstone and African green opal, and then we just kind of did that. And you can see there's some variation in the color as we go up the chain. You can see some of them almost get like yellow. So pretty. And so this is kind of and then I always have a little dangle on the end of the extender chain. So I just did the 2 stones on there. So that's my little owl. I'm trying to decide. Sometimes I name all the pieces in the collection. Sometimes I don't. But I usually name the collection. So also, as we're going through, if anybody has ideas for the name of this collection, I have not thought of anything yet. I don't know. I focused really heavily on crystal. I didn't do a lot of like glass or acrylic or any other kind of beads. Now, some of the pendant, like that pendant had rhinestone. It did have some shell pieces. This next pendant is a rhinestone pendant. But I did mostly like real stones for the beads on the actual necklace. So this is kind of a fun little pendant that I had in my collection, which is just a fun little mermaid tail. Yes, the green opal is beautiful, Mama Champagne. I love the green opal. So this is a beautiful like rhinestone mermaid tail that is purples and blues. There's some white, some AB. There's just a nice fun mix of crystals for that. And then as we go down, so we can see, we have got, let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about. So as we go up the chain, I decided to pair this with, we've got little amethysts, and then this is called Galaxy Tiger Eye. So Tiger Eye has, I think I talked about this in a previous live. Did I talk? I was so tired after Drag Brunch. I don't remember most of that live, but I think I talked about it in that live where I talked about chatoyance. That's like when you look at Tiger Eye and it's got that kind of like Aurora Borealis, like shiny shift to it. That's called chatoyance. And so with Galaxy Tiger Eye, they take regular Tiger Eye and it's treated with dyes and heat, I believe is how they do it. And so some are just like, some color treated stones are treated with just heat, like just applying heat will make them turn colors. Sometimes they'll use dyes. They use different kind of, sometimes they'll bond them with metals. That's how they make like aura quartzes. But so we have amethyst with these Galaxy Tiger Eye, which this is never going to focus on me, on the necklace instead of me. I'm so sorry. And so you can see it's got like an interesting, there is blue Tiger Eye, but this is actually like a different kind of like color. And usually it's like blues and greens and purples. Sometimes it comes in red. And then I've got little lepidolite. So lepidolite is a little purple stone. And so I put that there. And then I tried to vary the Tiger Eye a little bit. So here you can see there's maybe some other color in there. And I tried to vary them, but I tried to keep them very dark, very blue, very purple, to kind of match with this particular thing. The mermaid tail, yes, I love this little mermaid tail. And this is like, I had thought about maybe like waiting and doing a collection of like whimsical kinds of thing. But I was like, you know what? I just want to use this mermaid tail. It's so cute. It's going to look so good with the Galaxy Tiger Eye. And I had this little mermaid little mini charm that I thought would be perfect as the dangle on this one. So I absolutely thought that was perfect. Then we've got a big chonker one. If this one doesn't sell, I might just keep this for me. It's a little bit much, but so am I, and I kind of love that. And this is just, I had gotten these huge carnelian stones at a different place in Arizona. It was this place in a mall that's called Black Market Minerals, I think. And they had these, and they had been really expensive, and apparently nobody wanted big, ballsy carnelian stones, and so I got them for a really good price. And so I decided to make just this big, because having like a little pendant with these huge, I was like, this could be fun just as like a beaded necklace. Like just, you've got the beads of carnelian. They're all these beautiful shades of brown and red and black and just beautiful, beautiful carnelian. I love carnelian. Sometimes it gets much more red, much more orange. I like that these stayed a little bit more in that kind of orangey brown kind of place. So these carnelians, and then there's a couple little carnelian stones on the end. So you can see a lot of times carnelian is much more like reddish orange. And these were just so beautiful. And so I just thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. These are, I don't know if there's a different kind of carnelian that has more of like a brownish, blackish kind of look, or if that's just part of the variation and you don't see it as often, but I just thought those were really, really pretty. So I wanted to put those onto their own necklace. And since I was doing some carnelian stuff, this is a fun piece. I love to mix stones and stuff together, and so we've got this this beautiful, this is a goldstone pendant. So goldstone, you'll see goldstone in often this kind of coppery color or in blue or in green. Goldstone is actually a man-made crystal. It's not a real, like, naturally occurring crystal. Oh, she's thirsty today. And so we're gonna open up the second sody pop. Okay. So goldstone is basically glass. They melt down, and in golden glass. Hello from Iraq. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my little live stream. And so goldstone is made by, they heat up glass, they melt it, and then the molten glass is treated with copper. And that's how you get this beautiful, like, goldstone pendant. So it's just got this beautiful, beautiful glittery shine to it. And again, because I was playing with carnelian, I decided to mix that with, we've got some carnelian rounds that are very transparent. So they're very clear. Hello, you are a Muslim. Hello. And so we can see that we've got these carnelian rounds, and then these are peach moonstone, and then these are also carnelian, but these are more opaque, and they're cut in this really interesting geometric shape. And so we've got this beautiful mixture, and then I just kind of alternated those. So we've got the carnelian rounds, and then we've got the peach moonstone with the carnelian geometrics, the rounds, the geometrics. This one you can see some of them are a little bit more, have a little bit more of a translucence to them. And then this one again just has the little double bead on the dangle. This next one, this is a fun one. I wasn't sure that this one was going to make it into this round of jewelry. I kept looking at this, and then as I was looking through the beads, there was a set of beads that I forgot that I had purchased. That happens sometimes from Bernie's Beads, but they were, I thought they were going to be so perfect, because if you see, there's this beautiful like shell piece in the necklace, in the like center of the pendant, and then if you can tell, these are little like purple amethyst colored rhinestones. So I decided to match that with, these are green moonstone. I had never seen green moonstone until he mentioned they had them. I was buying some other moonstone. And so I have amethyst, and then I have these slightly larger green moonstone. And then we just do that all the way through. And then this one, again, has the little beads for the dangle. So this is sort of a, sorry, things are shifting and moving on me here. I'm trying to So there we have, this is kind of not really a cross. I mean, some people might interpret that as sort of a cross. It's kind of a floral filigree sort of situation, however you want to interpret that. But I just thought that those colors on the pendant with these stones was just beautiful. I just thought that was a beautiful combination. And then we've got, for all my chakra girlies out there, yes, thank you, Mama Champagne. That is a pretty one. I do like the way that that came out. That green moonstone with the amethyst is just perfection. It's so good. So for this one, we have one of these little, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. That's one of my favorites. I know we're not supposed to pick favorites among our children, but I do, and that's one of them. So this is one of these little, like, points, a crystal point that's made of different stones kind of connected together to create this sort of chakra rainbow. So we've got the 7 colors. And then I had these dyed quartz. These are kind of geometric, just faceted beads. And so then I created just, there's 7 colors of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I just alternated that 3 times. So this is a little bit of a longer one. And then I just had an extra one of these little, is this the tiger eye? Yeah. I just had this little extra galaxy tiger eye, and so I decided to stick that on there. Hello, Cat's Corner. Hello, Cat's Corner. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that is the little pendant, and then there is the fabulous dyed quartz. All right, then we have some more green moonstone. I like this one. This one's kind of a simpler one. If you don't like if you like a pendant that's a little bit more, still beautiful. I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say, like, a little bit more just kind of simple and elegant. This is a beautiful quartz piece that you can kind of see is like faceted around the edges. So it has a big, like, faceted face, and then has facets around the edges. And I decided to mix this up a little bit, and I decided to put this with the green moonstone, and then this is rainbow moonstone. So it looks almost like, as you're just looking at it, sometimes it looks almost like a clear quartz. But then as you move it, and I don't know how much the camera would get this, but like as you move it, there can be little flashes of like blue. Blue is the most common. Sometimes there's a little bit of gold. But so this has 2 different kinds of moonstone to kind of accent this beautiful quartz pendant. And then on the end, I had this little like vintage heart charm that I don't even remember where I got this. I think, if I remember right, there was an antique store that I went to, and I bought a couple of those, like, you know how sometimes you go to antique stores or rummage sales and people have jars of just loose jewelry and beads and shit and buttons? I bought a couple of those at an antique store, and I just picked out some of the fun. So this is like a fun little heart, kind of a florally heart charm. It's kind of big. It's a little bit bigger than I usually do on the dangles, but I just thought that was pretty, and I think it's a nice surprise for the person who owns it to just know that there's this little floating heart. Now, some people, if they don't like something like hanging on the back of their neck, like these little dangles, they might be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But I just love to do a little dangle. I love to have an extender chain so that my jewelry works with, you know, a lot of different neck sizes. I have a big old fatty neck, and so I always make sure that I can put it on. I need to at least be able to hold it up to my neck, and even if it's tight like a choker, it has to be big enough for my neck. I make jewelry for big neck gals and guys and they thems and all that, and so I'm like, you know what, we're going to, oops, that's backwards. We're going to make sure that this is big, and I like a longer necklace. I like something that's got a little bit of a longer look to it, so that's kind of very signature for me. Now this one is, my friend Ada just bought 2 cameos for me, and I'm gonna sheepishly have to be like, guess who's got another cameo? Because my friend Ada loves cameos, so when I'm shopping for pendants, I'm always on the lookout. And this is another beautiful one. Look at this. It's this like shell faux cameo, which I think is just gorgeous. It's got a couple little rhinestone accents. And then for this one, I decided to put, I did use these bigger ones in the middle are like an acrylic. And so they have this like iridescent-y kind of So there's different shades of like gray, light blue, with a little bit of iridescence to them. And I paired them up with the rainbow moonstone. So that's what we've got on this whole thing, is we've got those beautiful gray color acrylic beads that have a little bit of iridescence with that rainbow moonstone that's got the little flashes of like blue and sometimes gold, and then we've got a repeat of that on the dangle. So I'll have to message Ada and be like, so I know you were just here. If you want me to put this on hold for you, let me know. And this one, I don't know if this one is even going to make it out into the wild, because I also have been like, I haven't made myself a lot of pieces of jewelry. And when I saw this, it's so simple, but I was like, I would wear this. I would wear this out for like a fun night. Not that I ever go anywhere. That's my only hesitation, is I don't go anywhere or do anything. Hello, Empire Theater Company. Nice to see you. So we have a labradorite pendant. This beautiful square labradorite set on an angle. And then just labradorite. These are from Bernie's Beads. Beautiful. A lot of labradorite mostly flashes either blue or gold, but you can get labradorite that flashes pink, green, purple, orange. I mean, you can get the whole rainbow. But blue and gold are the most common. And these, again, I don't know how much it's going to capture on the camera, but there's a lot of like blue and gold in these beautiful, beautiful labradorite. And then just a labradorite. So this one I think may end up just with me. This might be for me. We shall see. But I do like it, because I think sitting over here, the last time I made jewelry, there was one that I was like, oh yeah, right here. This is one that I made in my last set of jewelry, which is just this beautiful, I found this. This is a recycled vintage pendant, and it's this big slab of tiger eye, and it's got these like geometric tiger eye and then these little citrines. And after I made this, I think I might have actually posted it with the group of jewelry, and when it didn't sell right away, I was like, just kidding, not for sale. I think this is mine. So this has gone into my personal jewelry drawer. And I think I still need to photograph this, but I think it's going to end up being in my personal collection as well. Because I love labradorite. It's one of my favorite stones. And so I think that might be something that I made for me, just to have a little joy for me. Now here's a couple of pieces that are not going to be for sale. These are commission pieces. These are actually my friend Nanners from Bismarck. We were out rummage sailing, not last summer, I think it was the summer before. It might have been last summer. I can't say for sure, but I've been holding on to these for a while where I needed to. It might actually, I think it was just last year. So this one, I think it's not as bad. The Bernie's Beads I know is from 2024, but these I think were maybe last summer. Pretty girl. She found a couple pendants and some beads and just asked me if I would make a couple pieces of jewelry for her. So I was like, yes. I'm going to photograph them just to have kind of in my albums of things that I've made. But she found that I love to upcycle vintage pendants, and she found this beautiful like tortoise shell pendant. We know I love a chain fringe. I love to do chain fringe. I thought that was fun. And then she found these gorgeous like lampwork beads, these glass beads. And then I found these are kind of like little copper colored, just little spacers, just because the holes on lampwork are like these glass beads, the way that they're made, they can be inconsistent, and sometimes they can slide over the eye on an eye pin. And so I just put little, those are kind of like little stoppers to kind of keep them on there. And then I had some more of these faceted tiger eyes, and so I put them in between and just alternated. So we've got the lamp work and we've got the tiger eyes. So that's a piece for Nanners, my friend from Bismarck, who's been supporting me through the whole Dakota Outright situation. So she's earned a couple pieces of jewelry. So yeah, so we've got that one. And then the second one that I did for her, this is a fun one. This one, it looks better when it's on. Hello, Dawn. How's it going? Because it is a brooch, and it's a brooch. Sometimes brooches will have like a little hook to also make it a necklace. This one does not. So I had to like attach it onto the pin, and this is the brooch, which I love. The brooch is, hello, Dawn. Yes, I was at Tanya's live for a little bit, And now we popped over here. And so this is this little beautiful rhinestone Tyrannosaurus with a crown. And then she found more lampwork beads, and these are little green. So when it sits, so when it's against your neck, like the dinosaur kind of stays in place and looks the way that he should. But he does kind of hang funny when he's just hanging there. But she found these really interesting lampwork beads. Can I, is it ever going to focus? So they're like a green, but they've got little copper flecks. And then I added these little acrylic beads that are like a cat's eye kind of situation. And so I just thought this was so fun. And then I had one more of these little dinosaur dangles. If you saw my last collection of jewelry, I had some little dinosaur necklaces. And so I had one more little dangle, so I put that on here for her. And so this is her dinosaur necklace. And so he just kind of lies flat until you actually put him on, and then he sits against your knife a little bit better. Ah, dropping things, dropping things. So those are the two pieces that I made for Nanners. All right, we are still going. We are still going. So we've got, this is for people who want like a statement piece that's not a ton of color. Oh, he's fabulous. Nanners will be so stylish. Yes, she will. I had to leave during Tanya's, had to load my car and come back home. I'm glad you made it back home, Dawn. Love that. How cute. Thank you. Love that. Thank you. Yeah, didn't want to miss anybody. Hello, Janet. I think I said hello to Janet, but there's no adults steering the ship. I don't know what I do or don't do anymore. So if I didn't say hello to you, Janet, I meant to, and I'm saying hello now. This is a fun little, just like a beautiful two-tone black and white and gold, very elegant sort of pendant with howlite. We've got the black and the white howlite. And then I just paired that with, I had some beads that were white howlite, and then I just alternated them with snowflake obsidian, because I just thought with the veining, having these kind of black with the little snowflake and then the white with the veining would just be beautiful. So we have more howlite, and then we have the little black and white pendant. So just like something that's still a statement piece. It still has some weight. It still is, you know, a beautiful piece of jewelry, but it's not super colorful. It's very, these are neutral colors. You can wear these with anything. And then for the dangle, I had another one of these little vintage heart charms. This is a gold tone heart, and it's got that little rhinestone. No, is it rhinestone? No, I think it's just cut to look like there's like a little bit of shimmer in there, but it's like a silver tone cross detail in there. So that is a vintage piece. And for those of you who are not woo-woo, don't worry about it. But for any of you who are a little bit more woo-woo and you are wondering about like the vintage recycled pendants, I do like a clearing of them so that if there's any like residual energy just kind of hanging around on them, I do a little bit of a clearing to kind of get rid of all that. If you think I'm woo-woo and crazy, that's fine. You can think I'm woo-woo and crazy. It doesn't do anything to the piece, but for people who care about like residual energy and things like that, I do try to clear them out a little bit. Okay. Let's keep going. This is another one. This is, I love Galaxy Tiger Eye. I bought a lot of I need to start making more stuff with Galaxy Tiger Eye because I've got quite a bit of it, but I just love it. I just love it. It's so pretty. So this is a little kind of a locket or a faux locket. I kind of call it a faux locket because it opens like a locket, but it's it's not like a full piece. It doesn't really hide what's behind it. This is just textured metal and then it snaps. But you can open it. You could put a picture in there if you wanted, so it does function like a locket. But I don't know if it doesn't like fully... I always think of a locket as like concealing the thing that's inside. And so I usually refer to that as a faux locket, but you can see it's got some little rhinestone details. It's got that moon, the stars, I think is really pretty. And then we've just got a bunch of Galaxy Tiger Eye. So those, and here you can see I've got a much more, like that mermaid tail I had mentioned that I tried to stick to the like, the dark blues and the purples to match. And here you can see there's much more variation. We've got some that are more like greeny turquoise. There's a lot of really interesting sort of color. I'm going to maybe try to get some close-ups of these when I post them, because it's hard just holding them up on here, especially when it won't stop focusing on my face, even if I put a hand up, to really get a sense of how beautiful that Galaxy Tiger Eye is. But just gorgeous. So I was excited for that. Ada, who likes the cameos, also likes lockets. So she's going to think I'm coming for her wallet. And maybe I am. Maybe I am. Sorry, Ada. Maybe I am. But if I know somebody loves something, I love to try to find good examples of that and use them. If you were sad that I was keeping... Hello, CJ. How's it going? We're just going through some jewelry. If you were sad when I showed that labradorite piece and you thought that I was keeping all the labradorite to myself, I absolutely was not. We have this beautiful labradorite. Oh, I wish it would really just show the flash. Well, excuse me, pretty girl. If you don't know what labradorite is, I love labradorite. It's just such a metaphor for life and for just like existing in the world. Because labradorite, most of the time, just looks like an ugly gray, sometimes brownish kind of stone. But because of the layers, when it formed, because of the certain layers, when you turn it a certain direction, that's where you get those colorful flashes, and you can get the whole rainbow. Like I said, it's usually blue or like a yellow gold, but you can get pink, you can get orange, you can get green, you can get purple, you can get the whole kind of spectrum in there. And so I just love that. And when you polish it up, you get those flashes even more. And so I love that about labradorite, that it's kind of this, like, there we go. There you can see how it then kind of flashes, where like from most angles, it just looks like this kind of uggo stone. It just looks like this gray brown stone. And most people wouldn't even think twice. They wouldn't even look at it. They wouldn't consider it. But if you take a closer look and if you spend a little bit of time, you get to see the real beauty in it. So this I decided to match with some of those beautiful labradorite. And again, as it turns, you can kind of see there's those little flashes. But the labradorite and then that rainbow moonstone, because the rainbow moonstone has some of that blue flash from certain angles. So I did just go ahead and just use that pattern. I did alternate that with individual labradorite. So we have the little, with the moonstone, a single, with the moonstone, single. So we just kind of alternated that through the whole necklace. And then this beautiful, I just love this long angled piece. And it really does, it is picking up now, good. Because this does have some beautiful gold and almost sliding into some green flash. I just think labradorite is so pretty. I just think labradorite is a beautiful, beautiful stone. And it's so fun to work with. This one is a little bit shorter for people who like a little bit shorter pieces. Sometimes I only make shorter pieces because I run out of beads or whatever, and I don't want to do anything different with the design than what I've chosen to do. And so I'll make like a little bit shorter. But again, I still make sure that I can at least put it up to my fatty neck with the clasp off. So this one is this is a mix of some stones. We've got 3 different stones on this piece, and then we've got another fun little vintage piece. So this is a little 2-piece dangling pendant that is lapis. And so you can see it's got those beautiful, beautiful, the veining of the blue and the white. Now on the yes, I did. I made all these pieces of jewelry by hand. I was bending metal and watching movies. And so then I put on these aquamarines. So these are little round aquamarine stones. And then these are sodalite. Now, sodalite often looks a lot like lapis. And the way that you can tell the difference between lapis and sodalite is that lapis will have little flecks of, it looks like gold or pyrite. And so you'll see these little like golden kind of flecks. That's how you know it's lapis. And usually it's more blue. See how that's a really intense blue, and there's a little bit of white, but it's mostly just the blue mixed throughout. Whereas sodalite, you can see there's a lot more variation. A lot of the pieces will have more of the white to them. And then they don't have that gold fleck. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate that. So that's how you can kind of tell the difference. Sodalite and lapis look very similar, but if you look at it really close and it looks like there's little flecks of gold or pyrite, then you know that that is going to be your lapis. And then these up here are little sodalites with these aquamarines. And then we did that. And then this, I don't know why I decided this was a good match for it. I liked it. This was another piece from those vintage charms. It's just a little, it's like a little clover, but it's got a little enamel. Oh, just focus for me, please. It's got this little enamel with these little leaves and a flower on it. I just thought that was pretty. The pink doesn't necessarily super match the blue, but I just thought there was something about this that I thought this looked kind of vintagey to me, and I thought having this little vintage charm on the extender chain, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I did a couple of rose quartz beads because I will sometimes buy, like someplace like Michael's will have pendants, and so sometimes I'll get the same pendant, and I really try to make sure that even if I have the same pendant, I don't make the same necklace again. Not exactly the same. So here we have the first of two rose quartz Tree of Life. These are little wire wrapped Tree of Life pendants, which I think are really, really beautiful. And I got these at Michael's. And so what I did with this one is I was like, you know what, let's do one piece that's just rose quartz. And so I've alternated some rose quartz rounds with some of these beautiful like faceted geometric, and we just alternated those. And so then it's alternated all the way up. And then we've got just a little rose quartz with a little, like, that's just a milky, like a crystal bead. So that's glass or crystal in kind of that milky color. But I just thought that would make a nice little dangle on there. So this is one version of the rose quartz Tree of Life. I had another one of these pendants. And I decided that, so rose quartz is kind of, again, for all my woo-woo people, if you're into like stones and crystals and things like that, rose quartz is kind of the best crystal for heart healing. If you are heartbroken, if there's anything that is weighing on your heart, you want to do anything to sort of be kind of like a heart healing sort of thing, rose quartz is the best crystal. It's cheap, it's readily available, it's a great stone. There are other ones that work as well that are more expensive, but it's also like rose quartz is like the best. Like rose quartz just really does it. And so with this one, since I wanted to make it a little bit different, what I decided to do was we've got, again, another rose quartz Tree of Life pendant, and then I alternated that. So we've got the little rounds, and then we've got the faceted, and on either side of the faceted, I did lepidolite. So lepidolite, we saw a little bit of that earlier. That's that kind of purple stone. And so I did around this kind of trio of beads, and then we did two of the rose quartz trio, one rose quartz, the trio, and so I kind of alternated one single rose quartz, two single, one single, two single, one single. The reason why I wanted to pair it with lepidolite, not only because purple and pink just look nice together, but also because rose quartz, like I said, is good for like heart healing kind of energy, and lepidolite specifically is really good for people who are experiencing and struggling with grief. And so lepidolite is a really great stone for people who are working through grief. And so I thought this would be a great gift for somebody who, if they either themselves or if they know somebody who is really struggling with some grief, that this would be a great piece because it's already got that rose quartz that's going to be working on the heart energy just in kind of a general sense. And then you've also got this lepidolite that helps people work through and process grief. So I just thought that would be a good piece. I did a whole, I haven't done the whole like to do with it for a while, but I did a collection a few years ago that was called the Enchantments, where I was very specific about picking like stones to go together for very specific things. And like I have little cards that I sometimes will write out. Excuse me, pretty girl. And I gave them like different like mantras they could use for meditation as well. So some of these I may create like a new little mini enchantments collection as well. But I just thought that was kind of fun. Now here is for our color lovers. This is kind of a fun little color. This is a fun little duo of stones, and I just love this pendant. I don't remember where I got this pendant, but look at how beautiful that is. This is just like an acrylic sun face, moon face, just a beautiful like blue, but then it's got that gold iridescence over it. And so I decided, yes, I love lepidolite. Lepidolite is a beautiful, beautiful stone. And I decided to play with those two colors because like this face looks like a traditional like sun or moon. It could be either one. And so I was like, Lovely. Hey, y'all, I didn't know you were going live. I hope I didn't eat any. No, Tanya. I was glad to join your birthday. I knew you were, I had kind of forgotten you were going live, but then I was like, I'll just go on live afterwards because I was going to show off my jewelry. But happy birthday. We're glad that you made it. Yes. Hello. Everybody's saying hello. So with this beautiful, like duochrome kind of pendant, I decided to pair that with, we've got blue tiger eye and citrine. So I decided to play into the blue and the gold together. And so we've got little tiger eye rounds, these little, and these are actual blue tiger eye. I think they might be color treated to make the blue more intense, but they are like a natural blue tiger eye. And then we have the beautiful faceted citrines to go with that. So I just thought that was a fun little way, and I kind of alternated some of the yellows. Some are a little bit brighter yellow, some of them are a little bit lighter, and some are darker. Just kind of playing with the tones, like little sunlight flashes. And so I just thought this was a fun one, and it does have a beautiful, some of these pendants, they'll have like little filigree designs on the back. So you could even, if you wanted to, you could wear it. You technically get two pendants because you could wear it with the little face side out, or you could just have this beautiful kind of filigree design, whichever you chose to do. We have 3 left. We've got 3 left. Let's see, what should we do next? Next, I think we're gonna do this one. This is another one for my people who love a statement piece but don't necessarily want a ton of vivid color. You want something that's a little bit more neutral, that's maybe gonna fit in with more of your different outfits, different looks, different things, or maybe you just like your jewelry to be a little bit more still like a statement piece but less colorful. This is a beautiful, I don't know what kind of stone this is, it just said stone pendant. A lot of times I am okay with identifying certain kinds of stones. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably some kind of a jasper, but I don't really know. And where I bought this from, it was just marked as a stone pendant, so it didn't say what it was. So, and I don't, with this particular kind of stone, I don't feel comfortable enough to say, you know, like I said, I think it could be a jasper. I think it's too green to be a Larimar. I don't think it's Amazonite. This kind of coloring, and this, especially shaving it this thin, I just think it's going to be some kind of jasper. I don't really know, but I decided to pair that with morganite, and you can see I've got morganite in a bunch of different colors. So I kind of tried to, we've got here's more of kind of a bluish gray, we've got a pink, this more kind of cream, this kind of yellow, and so I just tried to pair them up as best as I could, because again, they're naturally occurring. So these are all natural colors of morganite, and they just, when they put them together in the sets that they sold, they had a bunch of different colors, so I just tried to alternate them so that the colors would match as much as possible. So again, it's a beautiful piece. There's some facets on here, so it's going to have some sparkle, a little bit of sparkle, but it's not super colorful. Yes, now there is like a gem morganite, and I think that this is a different kind of, this is the morganite that has more like inclusions. It's a little bit more opaque. So this is not like gem quality morganite, because I know like if you go to fancy like jewelry stores, they will have like morganite that is, I think is more like a clear gem, and it's usually pink, I think. But morganite, like the base stone comes in other kind of color. At least I'm pretty sure it does, because I've seen bigger pieces, like just like loose stone pieces that aren't beads in different colors. Again, I'm always going by what things are labeled, because these are a Michaels purchase, and Michaels is kind of tricky, where they're pretty good about labeling their stuff to say when it's color treated, when it's like one stone dyed to look like another stone. They're usually pretty good, but every once in a while they'll sneak something in that looks like it's been color treated or somehow like that, and they haven't labeled it. But these were just labeled as like regular morganite. Is the piece that's sliced thin somewhat translucent? Yes, it's a little bit, like, if I could, how do I do this? Oh, I was gonna say, I'll pick up my phone and put a light behind it. Yes, I can see like light through it. So it's not completely transparent, but it definitely has some translucency to it. It's a neutral, but has just enough color. Yeah, just enough color to not be boring. I like that. Yeah, where it's just kind of like, it's a little bit more sedate. If you love pastels, this is a good option. And so, yeah, and then this brings a little bit of green in. I just thought this was fun. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. We've got 2 more. Let's do the shell first. I do love working with shell. This pendant is really fun. I was very excited when I saw this. I knew I wanted to work this into my next round because I was like, this has been sitting there looking at me for a while. But it's this beautiful, yeah, soft and femme, absolutely. It's this beautiful like shell that's been sort of cut, and then the edges have been gilded, which I think is just gorgeous. So you get this sort of like the sense of the shape of the shell, and you can see through it. And so what I decided to match it up with, oh, maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's having a stroke. I don't know. So here we have like just natural mother of pearl. These beads are just a natural, beautiful mother of pearl, which I think is a lot of fun. And then we have, these are sunstone. So these are a beautiful, like, they're very iridescent. This one I think has a little bit of a coating on it to make it more iridescent, but sunstone also has some like internal glittery, shimmery bits, which I think are really fun. And this one, like I said, I think it has a little bit of a coating to give it some iridescence on the outer part too as well, because it looks like it's got some kind of shellac. It wasn't labeled. Again, this is one of those times where I'm like, Michaels might be pulling a fast one where they don't say that it is, that it has like a shellac layer on it that gives it like an iridescence. And then we've got more of the mother of pearl, and then there's little copper tone, those little spacer beads again. I just put those next to the sunstone because I thought they brought some additional texture to the necklace, some additional color, and it's all these like beachy tones. It's all of these beautiful like sandy, beachy, beautiful kind of tones like that. A conversation piece, absolutely. The shell, yeah, I love this pendant. So I was like, it's been looking at me, and the last couple times I did jewelry, I didn't use it. And so I was like, you know what, we have to get to this piece in this collection because this is just gorgeous. And then the way that it pairs up with that beautiful, like, creamy mother of pearl, and then this beautiful peachy, little bits of pink kind of sunstone, I think is so pretty. So pretty! That'll go with your Prada or Burberry outfit, absolutely. And then my last one, for people who are looking for a little bit of abundance in their life, if they need a little bit of green, if you're a green fan, we've got some aventurine. Aventurine is a great prosperity stone. It's a great abundance stone. And I've got this beautiful little koi fish. Look at that beautiful koi fish pendant carved out of aventurine. I think that is so cute, adorable. And then we just went simple with this one. We just went with aventurine rounds. I was like, I don't need to make this really complicated and crazy. We'll just let this beautiful, beautiful green pendant be kind of the statement piece. And then we'll have the green. And then we gave him a little, the dangle has a green aventurine, but it also has another one of those little mermaids. So we've got a koi fish and a mermaid. Yes, aventurine often looks like a darker jade. Yeah, it can look very much, especially with these larger pieces when they don't have as much, what's the word I want? Translucence. Because you can see the rounds have a little bit of translucence. But yeah, I just think that's so cute. I just love him. He's so adorable. So those are the pieces. So let me count what I've got here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21! Lucky 21, blackjack. We have 21 new pieces of jewelry. Now, some of them are already spoken for. Like I said, the one I made for me, the two of them I made for my friend Nanners. Which one is my favorite? Oh, Tanya, you're killing me. Oh, how do I choose? If I had to go just off of a gut reaction, that koi fish is a good one. That koi fish is, and of course I made a Labradorite one for me, but I would have to say, I think my favorite one might be this one. Might be the shell with those little purple rhinestones and then the green moonstone and the purple. I love green and purple together. I know as a comic book fan, I know that they're trying to make us believe that green and purple equals villain because it's Lex Luthor, it's the Joker, it's always something evil. But I love this pendant. I love that shell piece in the pendant. And this green moonstone, it has me in a chokehold. I have more green moonstone. I might just have to make myself, like, I don't know if I'll even put a pendant with it. I might just make myself it's not really a strand of beads because they're on metal and so they're linked or whatever. But I might have to make me a chain with green moonstone beads just for me because I think this is my favorite because these are like two favorite colors. I love green and purple together. Green is my favorite color. Purple with green is beautiful. So I think this one might, just kind of going off my like gut reaction, I think that this one might be my favorite. Although I also trying to choose, I can never choose just one. We also have the beautiful shell owl with those beautiful like hematite colored rhinestones. Oh, I think that's really gorgeous. And then pairing it with those beautiful African opals and then the black moonstone. So this is like a runner-up. This is a beautiful, beautiful runner-up because I do really like that. Hello, Tina Jones. How you doing? Welcome. We just got through all 21 pieces of the new jewelry that I've been working on. And I did buy some more. I was kind of surprised. I just didn't have the right pendant, I guess. Because another stone that I really, really love that I found through Bernie's beads. There's Bert's beads and Bernie's beads, and I can't do it. Bernie's beads. This was from my last collection of jewelry, but this beautiful honey tiger eye, because it's like tiger eye, but it's such a lighter, beautiful kind of color. And then I had this beautiful like honeycomb pendant that I thought was so fun. So this is from the last collection of jewelry. This I still have available, but this is another one that I'm like, does this need to go into my collection? Does this need to be for me? I love owls, and that is so versatile. Goes with most things. Yeah, I love owls too. My living room could be like an I Spy puzzle for owls. Like, how many owls can you find? Because I have many hidden about the room. Like, I have little statues. I have a couple bookends that are owls. I have this little like table, side stool table thing. I have a hand-drawn picture. My ex's mother drew me a beautiful picture of an owl. She's so lovely. I've been meaning to send her, so not last year, but I think the year before for Christmas, she sent me, she made that, so the picture, sorry, I'm going too many directions at once. So I have this like hand-drawn, maybe 8x10 picture of an owl that his mother drew for me, and she brought it to me when I was in Hairspray. So we were dating when I was in the musical Hairspray. I was Edna Turnblad, and she brought that up as a gift when she came to see the show, which was very lovely, very sweet. And so a couple years ago, she said, my granddaughter asked me if I would draw her some more owls for Christmas. Like, that was the thing that she wanted for Christmas. And she's like, I'm going to make some note cards out of these. Would you like some note cards? And I was like, I would love that. That's very sweet. It's very beautiful. So she sent me that. And I've been meaning to like send her a piece of jewelry since then. And I haven't gotten around to it, but she just, not too long ago, she had I think it was around Christmas this year, then she sent me like just a little note that she and her fella got engaged, I think over Christmas, and they just now moved to a new place. So I had saved, when she sent me the note cards, I saved the envelope because then I had the address and I was going to send her a piece of jewelry, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So now I'm going to have to confirm her new address because she just moved, but I want to send her a piece of jewelry, and I haven't decided if I'm going to make a different piece, or as I was making this one, I thought this might be the piece that goes to Beatrice. I love this little sun. I just think it's really beautiful. And it's got the citrine, because I had asked my ex, I was like, what are some of her like favorite colors and stuff? And he said, and that's the only thing that's like, I think taken me a little bit longer, is that she doesn't wear a lot of like ostentatious jewelry. Like she doesn't wear a lot of like big kind of statement piece sort of jewelry. And he said that some of her favorite color, like, he's like, I think her favorite color is probably like yellow. And so I was like, well, citrine. So I didn't know if I wanted to make her just like maybe more a simple citrine necklace, because this one is kind of colorful. It is a little bit wild, but I was like, maybe she'll love it. Maybe she'll love the little bit of citrine. She'll love the blue tiger eye. I do have some other citrine beads that I haven't broken into yet, so I may make her a different piece. But I may end up sending her this one. So we'll see. I haven't decided. I'm trying to decide what pendant would look really nice with the other citrine beads that I have. And maybe I'll make her an all citrine piece. Because I know that, because that blue and the yellow, it's quite a contrast. So I don't know if that's perfect, because she doesn't like her jewelry as like boom boom pow as I like my jewelry. So doing just like an all citrine piece might be a great way to really kind of on average, how long does it take you? It really depends. It's weird. Like I will put on a movie, and typically if I'm watching like a 90 to 2 hour, 90 minute to 2 hour, I can make like maybe 2 pieces or a piece and a half. So it takes me a little bit of time, and it depends on how much. Like if I'm just doing single beads on here, that sometimes goes a little bit quicker. It's when I'm trying to do like multiple pieces, like when I've got multiple beads, excuse me, pretty girl, it seems like that would take not much different amount of time. But there's sometimes with like setting it up, I have this little like crimper tool that like makes the little hoop for you to hook the jump in, and so it's a little bit easier because you can hand bend them, and I used to do that before I found that tool, and it was a beast and I hated it. And so once I found that tool, I broke another one. So I've made so much jewelry and I use that tool so often that sometimes the spring in the handle breaks. And I think this is the third one now that I've gone through where I've used it so much that I've broken the spring. You can still use it after the spring breaks. It's just you have to do it more manually. So then that takes a little bit of extra time too. So right now I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage with that. And so so usually I would say an hour to an hour and a half I can make. An hour maybe for a piece for most things. Now, if I'm doing something complicated, like when I make the chain fringe, do I have a chain fringe piece? I think I do. Let me look on here. Because a lot of these I'm just putting like pendants on. And so like this one took a little bit longer because a lot of times the thing that takes more time are working with these little jump rings and kind of putting them on and lining them up and all that kind of stuff. And so if I'm doing something like this, I created the chain on these 3 pendants and kind of put them together. This is an older piece in my inventory. And so when I do that, that takes a bit more time. So like that, I would maybe I would get one done like in a movie. Do I teach a class? I have never taught a class on this. I was actually taught by my friend Angie, who is my intrepid cinematographer here on YouTube. If you hear somebody talking or laughing at me or harassing me or belching in the background, it's probably Angie. And so Angie actually taught me how to make it. And yeah, I haven't done like any kind of class, but I'm always coming up with little like workshop and little class ideas and things. So it's something that at some point I could, if there was enough interest in it, I could potentially do. But yeah. And it's just, I just like making it. I do, you know, if I can sell it and make a little bit of money, and I like to use it for gifts. I like to give a lot of times, like making the necklaces for Nanners when she found the beads that she liked and stuff. And I like to make it for gifts for people that I know that like jewelry and stuff. And yeah, that would be awesome because they come away with, yeah, that's the thing where like, that's what I like about jewelry making, because I do love YouTube and I love my website, but all that stuff is like online. It like lives out there in the ether, in the interwebs, and I never have like a thing in my hand. And so when I make jewelry, like the time that I've spent, when I get to the end, like I have a thing in my hand. And so I love that. I love having a hobby where, and so like making money off of it is never like the goal. I mean, it would be nice if I made a little bit of money, because clearly I'm spending a little bit of money, but I just like being able to make something, like having a creative outlet that's not just writing or recording a video or something, that it's like, then at the end I have this thing and like I can put it on, and if I wanted to, you know, I could wear this little, if I can figure out the clasp. I don't have nails on, I have no excuse. Yeah, so it's just fun. And then like I have a piece of jewelry, and so if I want to have a little piece of jewelry to wear somewhere, I can make myself a new piece of jewelry. I have worn a few of my pieces of jewelry. There was a piece of jewelry that I wore at brunch that I had made that was one of my pieces of jewelry. Hello! Oh, I'm so sorry if I say this wrong. Napwa Sumida? Hopefully that was sort of close. If you have a name you'd prefer us to use, then certainly let us know in the comments. But hello, welcome to you. Even if I said it incorrectly, I didn't mean to. So yeah, so this is just my fun little piece. Custom pieces to come. Yeah, and so if you have like a specific outfit you want a little piece of jewelry for, you can just make a little something something. So I like that. I like having the ability to kind of jazz up my wardrobe. Because I work virtually, like I never have much of a reason to like dress up, right? Like I don't go out that much, and certainly when I'm not in drag, I hardly go out at all. So whenever I do, I like to jazz it up a little bit. I like to have some fun accessories. I like to have a little piece of jewelry or something to kind of dress up the look. So yeah. So for those of you who saw most or all of the jewelry, has anybody had any ideas about what I should call it? Because I haven't thought of what to call the collection yet. I haven't figured out a name for it. So if you think of anything, and I'm very excited because my friend Janine, I talked to her, she has the crystal shop. I've shown off some of her crystals, and I think I might have mentioned that in that live where I was almost falling asleep yesterday afternoon after the drag brunch. But I'm going to have a few pieces in her store, Crystal Light, which is not Crystal Light, Crystal Clear. Damn it. Every time. Her shop is called Crystal Clear, and I always go to Crystal Light. I believe in Crystal Light because I believe in me. The old drink packets, Crystal Light. Crystal Clear. But I'm going to have some pieces over in East Grand Forks in her store, Crystal Clear. So I'm very excited. She has some fabulous things. Yes, House of Champagne Designs. So I have little cards, and so each one comes with a little, I know it's going to be backwards, but it's House of Champagne, unique handcrafted jewelry, and then it has my website, janessaj.com, and then on the back, Crystal Light, yes, the Crystal Light. And so then on the back, I always say what collection it's from, and then I say what the materials are. So I tell them like what stones I used, and then it just says thank you for your purchase, and then I always sign it and I put it on a little string and attach it to the jewelry. This is a fun one because it's got a little charm that looks like an old token. This, like I said, this one may just end up in my personal collection because I also really love this one. But yeah, so I have little cards, and then I have other cards that I do earrings. So I have earrings, and so I have a little stamper that like stamps out a thing, and you can put the earrings through and put little stoppers on. Oh, I thought you meant this series only. Yeah, that one is nice. Celestial collection. I only saw. Yeah, there were definitely a few Celestial pieces. Um, yeah, I gotta percolate and figure out what I'm gonna say, what I'm gonna call it, because I did kind of a weird mix of things. I've got some, there's like the fish and there's the shell piece and there's the mermaid tail, but then we've got a couple like sun, moon, celestial things. We've got an owl. We've got a couple tree of life. We've got a couple geometrics. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of stuff, and then this chunker. Hello, Allison. How's it going? If I don't sell this, again, this is another one that I might just keep for myself. There's something about this big old. I just love big, like, collections of big chunky beads. The Crystal Light collection. Oh. I believe in crystal light because I believe in me. That 80s commercial will be stuck in my head forever. Stuck in my head forever. So that is the collection. It's getting kind of late. I should probably let everybody go here pretty soon. We should probably go. But it's nice to see Allison again. Allison, I'm so excited because I couldn't remember if we did coloring on Saturdays or Sundays. And the theater, I went back and checked the date, and it said the 30th, which is a Sunday. So I hope that that's correct, that we're going to be coloring again. Because the theater where we did our drag brunch scheduled the next drag brunch, and they scheduled it on Saturday the 29th. And I had a panic moment where I was like, am I now double booked? Like, me who has so little on my calendar, like, how did I end up with two things on the same day? And I don't, because of course I went back to our messages, and the messages say August 30th. So Saturday I'll have drag brunch, and then Sunday I'll be coloring with you on your channel. So I am super excited for that. Yeah, so that's kind of a little announcement coming up. In August, I'm busy in August. I'm booked and busy and blessed because I'm going to be at Magic City Pride August 22nd. We're going to be having our next drag brunch at the Empire Theater, which is Taylor Swift themed, and that is August 29th. And then on August 30th, you can catch me live over on Retro Toy Princess, her channel, Allison Troy. She's here with us in the chat, and we are going to be doing some coloring, and I think we're doing vintage Barbie coloring, so I'm very excited. I have some new art supplies. I have to figure out where I put them because I bought some new, my markers were getting really sketchy, so I bought some new markers the last time I was in Five Below. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do some coloring. So yeah, so we've got a booked and busy August, and yeah. If you would like to find out, now, I wish I could divest myself from Facebook, but Facebook is still kind of the best place for me to post a lot of things. I still have the biggest, I mean, technically I have the biggest following. I don't really know. It's like, it's over 4,000, but you never know how many of those people just like saw you once and added you. But I do tend to post my jewelry for sale there. I haven't gone through the struggle of trying to put like a Shopify shopping cart on my website, so I haven't put them up there. So if you, my Facebook is always linked down in my description box, so if you're interested in seeing these when they go up for sale, you can always add me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group, and if you want to be added to that Facebook group, I can add you to that as well. I usually post things there first. Sometimes I do special sales. Sometimes I don't post anything in there for months. And then I'm all of a sudden like, hello, remember me? But I do a lot of that on Facebook. I am trying to find ways to make it more accessible through like Instagram. Sometimes I'll put like posts up here on my post tab and kind of direct people to where they can go to kind of shop the collection. But yeah. Also, I don't know, she used to come on here and chat, and I think I met her through Dion's chat. But somebody that I remember used to come onto my lives for a while, and she added me on Facebook. Her name, and she added me on TikTok. Her name was Ethel. Her login name was like Golden Glow, like GLDN Glow. If you knew Ethel, she has passed away. I saw a note from her son on her son or her son-in-law on her Facebook profile, that she has passed away. So if you did know her, if you didn't know her, she was a nice lady. She was fabulous, but she was always a big supporter of my channel. And so I always appreciated chatting with her, but sad to say that she has passed away. So yeah, but that is all. That is the jewelry collection. I'm gonna get going. I gotta go make some thumbnails. I didn't do any thumbnails for the lives I did this week, so I gotta do. Tanya, you remember her? Good. I'm glad somebody remembers her, because I know she was sometimes kind of quiet in chat. She didn't always chat a lot, but she was really lovely, and I know she was going through a lot. And so, yeah, so very sad news. That's one of those things that sometimes people come in and they chat with us and they're around, and then sometimes they just kind of stop coming and we never know what happens, and it's just kind of unfortunate. So I'm glad that I was able to at least see that announcement so that I knew, because I haven't seen her in chat for a while, but I would see her on yeah, like Skinny Queen. I would see her on TikTok. She would sometimes post things on TikTok. I think she was dealing with lupus, because I think her TikTok name had something to do with like Lupus Warrior or something, and so I think that she was dealing with that a lot, especially towards the end. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for spending this time with me during the weekend. I'm so glad. That's sad. What was the name? So her name was Ethel, and her login name was like GLDNGLOW, and I don't remember if there were any like numbers or anything after that, but it was Golden Glow. I think it was just Golden Glow, but I can't remember for 100% sure. Like I said, I haven't seen her on YouTube for a long time, and she has different names like on Facebook and TikTok. So thank you everybody for coming. If you were here in chat, I would love it if you would circle back around, leave me a comment down below, help me feed the beast, help me feed that algorithm. While you are down there, don't forget that you can give me a thumbs up to tell me that you appreciated this video, or if you are like, girl, why are you making all this jewelry? What are you trying to girl boss into this next century? What are you doing? Go ahead and give me that thumbs down. It is all engagement. The algorithm isn't a picky bitch, and neither am I. While you are down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button just like Napua did. Thank you very much. We love and appreciate you. And hit that bell icon so you'll be notified of all future uploads. I try really hard to make sure I have at least one video or live per week. And sometimes, if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might even get a bonus video. Ooh, lapidolite-orific. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, including a link to my website, just pretend it's there, The World of Champagne at JanessaJ.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you. Napua, thank you for becoming a new subscriber. I appreciate you. So excited to have you here with us. We have lots of shenanigans. Don't forget that this coming up Wednesday is my last Wacky Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday of July, and we are doing a pastel ombre face, so 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, Wacky Wednesday, right here on my channel. And August, there will be more. I haven't decided what my August series is yet. I do believe I will not be doing anything live on the first Wednesday, because that's the day we drive back from the pool house. Now, I may go live to do just like a debrief of like how everything went, just kind of a chatty thing. It depends on when we get home, how tired I am, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to schedule a excuse me, pretty girl. I'm not going to schedule a specific live for the first Wednesday of August, but I probably won't go live, but I may if we get home in time and I'm not completely exhausted. So be on the lookout for that potentially, but then starting that next Wednesday, we'll have a Wednesday. I think I'm just going to do Wednesday lives. I think I'm just going to try to like come up with a new series for each month. Next month, that Wacky Wednesday has been putting me through it with all those colorful foundations and the staining and all of that. So I don't know that we'll do a makeup application one for August. Maybe in September we'll go back to it. Maybe we'll go back and forth. October, maybe I'll try to do like Halloween looks. Maybe that'll be like a themed kind of makeup application for Wednesdays in October. But yeah. That's all for me. I hope everybody's having a lovely night, and good night, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. Start the day tomorrow. Yes, that's why you gotta hit the bell. Thank you, Tanya. And until I see you again, and check out, like, a lot of the people in this chat also have channels. So if anybody has not checked out each other, I know we're a lot of the same people, but especially for our new people who are joining us, Tanya has a channel, Dion has a channel, Janet is on Instagram, Allison Retro Toy Princess, she does coloring lives. I'm going to be with her Trying to think of who else was in the chat tonight. Dawn hasn't done content yet, but Dion is certainly hounding her, and I try to remember to hound her when I can. Tina Jones is here. Tina Jones, do you have a channel? I don't remember. I'll have to go look and see if you do. I think that's, and then Alex, I don't think has a channel. CJ does, I think CJ, you have a channel, right? But have you done, I must have missed a few. CJ, do you have a channel? I know you've shown me like some shorts. I think maybe, yes. Are you active again on your channel? So definitely Titular Heroine, you can check out her channel as well. But yeah, we've got lots of people channels. We've got cool people. We've got a good community. This chat community that kind of spreads out among like my channel and Dion's channel and Tanya's channel and, you know, a lot of these related, we're just cool people. We're just cool and fun and delightful and lovely. So you should join us and you should hang out with us whenever you can. So I'm going to let y'all go. Happy Sunday. It's back to the grind tomorrow. And until I see you again, bye. The awkward shutting down of the stream. There we go. Okay, bye. I can take this out now.